To come to the conclusion that my only option is to let Velocity get on with it without me.
Well, Edd become a TV star rather than Edd forgot his focus.
Mike Brewer's world just took a surprising turn, and it's not what viewers expected. Alleged behind-the-scenes drama, silent feuds, and shocking decisions could mean big changes for wheeler dealers. The internet's buzzing, but what's the real story? Let's break it down. Stay with us, and make sure to subscribe for more. Wheeler dealers didn't just enter the scene, it drove in with power, precision, and a style all its own. Unlike many automotive shows, this one wasn't about flashy races or high-end car launches. It focused on something simpler yet deeply satisfying, taking old or undervalued cars, giving them new life, and flipping them for profit. It was this real-world relatability that hooked audiences. What made wheeler dealers truly stand out was how it blended business savvy with hands-on mechanical skill. You had Mike Brewer, the smooth-talking car enthusiast, always hunting for the best deals. And alongside him, the steady and skilled mechanic, Edd China. Together, they formed a duo viewers came to trust.
I'm the presenter of Wheeler Dealers, work on Discovery Channel, and I'm a massive Ford fan.
The show didn't just talk about cars. It showed you how to fix them, how to improve them, and how to make money doing it. Despite being a UK-born series, Wheeler Dealers managed to find a devoted audience across the globe, including the US. For years, it felt like the show could do no wrong. But behind the scenes, something was quietly shifting. Long before television cameras followed him through workshops and junkyards, Mike Brewer was already neck-deep in the car world. He didn't stumble into this path. He was practically born into it. His father, Roger Wilkes, was into car customization and owned a Ford Pop known as Mr. Popster. For a young Mike, watching his dad transform vehicles into masterpieces was more than fun. It was formative. His first car wasn't anything fancy. It was a beige Mini with an 800cc engine.
Be wrong with a car, what would be right with a car, because I've just been around it all my life. My dad.
But for Mike, it meant freedom and passion. That little car was the first of many, and it set him on a journey that would one day land him on television screens around the world. From the very beginning, cars weren't just machines to Mike. They were living, breathing stories waiting to be told. That mindset would eventually fuel everything he built and help explain why he was so driven to keep the show alive no matter what happened. Mike didn't start with Wheeler Dealers, and that's what makes his career so fascinating. Before he became the face of the show, he was busy building a reputation across several other motoring programs. He hosted Deals on Wheels, Auto Trader, Driven, and Pulling Power. Each of these shows gave him experience, and more importantly, visibility. But Wheeler Dealers was the project that put him firmly in the public eye. And once it took off, Mike made sure not to waste the momentum.
He's not here. He's not with me. I don't work with him anymore. I'll never work with him again. He's on YouTube.
He worked on spin-offs like Wheeler Dealers Trading Up, where he traveled around the world with the goal of trading his way up to a supercar. He even stepped into riskier territory by presenting Frontline Battle Machines, a documentary series where he followed military forces in Afghanistan. That series took a serious turn when his helicopter came under fire, injuring the pilot and forcing an emergency landing. Mike survived, but it reminded him just how unpredictable life could be. Whether in a war zone or in a workshop, he was always willing to face the unknown head-on. As much as Mike was the engine behind Wheeler Dealers, Edd China was the gearbox. He kept everything running smoothly with a calm, focused energy that balanced Mike's more energetic style. Tall, reserved, and always deeply involved in each repair, Edd quickly became a fan favorite. He wasn't just fixing cars, he was teaching.
That's okay, we're both adults, we'll get over ourselves. We'll get past this, and then we'll be...
Every bolt he tightened and every part he swapped came with an explanation. Fans learned as they watched, and that transparency built trust. Edd brought the workshop to life in a way that felt authentic. He didn't rush repairs. He took the time to show what mattered. And that attention to detail is what set Wheeler Dealers apart from the countless other car shows that came and went. But over time, even the strongest engines can show signs of wear. When Edd China left the show in 2017, it felt sudden. Fans were blindsided. One day, he was part of the show's heartbeat, and the next, he was gone. Mike Brewer later revealed that things behind the scenes had been strained for a while. According to Mike, Edd had grown frustrated, not just with the work, but with how the show was being made. He wasn't just walking away from Wheeler Dealers, he was walking away from a friend, a team, and a format that had made them both famous. Mike described the tension as gradual. Edd became less engaged, more withdrawn.
Yes, I'm afraid it's true, and I'm really sorry. After 13 years of making Wheeler...
He didn't lash out, but his discontent showed. Eventually, Discovery Channel gave him the choice: stay and adapt or leave. Edd chose the latter. Fans were confused and whispers began to grow louder. Had something more serious happened? Or was Edd simply done? Shortly after his departure, Edd addressed the situation. His reasoning sounded technical, even noble. He claimed the production company had planned to cut down on the workshop segments, the very parts that made the show special in the first place. According to Edd, this would have stripped the soul out of Wheeler Dealers. Many fans sided with Edd. They believed he was standing up for the show's integrity. But others began to wonder, was that really the whole story? Because if Edd was so concerned with preserving the mechanics of the show, why not negotiate or push back? Why walk away entirely? There were gaps in the story, and those gaps only grew wider with time. When Edd left, the backlash didn't land on Discovery or the producers. It landed squarely on Mike Brewer. Viewers who had once admired him turned against him. Online forums exploded with accusations. Some called him a sellout. Others went further, launching personal attacks on him and his family. It was an emotional time.
But Edd, come on.
Have faith.
The
Look, come
amount
on.
of work you're
Given
going
the
to have
miracles I pulled off before, you know I can do it.
Mike wasn't just losing a partner, he was being painted as the villain. And yet, he stayed silent for a while, choosing not to fan the flames. Eventually, though, he had to speak up. Mike denied any plan to reduce the workshop content. He insisted the format would stay true to its roots. But the damage was done. Some fans simply didn't want to believe him. Despite everything, Mike didn't walk away. Instead, he doubled down. He introduced new co-hosts like Anstead and later Mark Elvis Priestley. Each brought their own charm and skills, but they had massive shoes to fill. Mike worked tirelessly to keep the spirit of Wheeler Dealers alive. He relocated filming back to the UK, found a new garage near Chester, and kept pushing forward. He knew not everyone would be happy. He knew comparisons were inevitable, but he believed in the format and in his team.
I took on the role of Wheeler Dealers. It was a chance of freedom. It was almost like
For Mike, quitting wasn't an option. Meanwhile, Edd China took a different path. He launched a YouTube channel focused on helping people complete car projects they'd given up on. He spotlighted unique vehicles, showcased unusual tools, and collaborated with experts to bring innovation to viewers. The tone of his content was quieter, more introspective. No flashy intros or drama, just steady, knowledgeable fixes. It was clear Edd was enjoying the freedom, but some fans couldn't help but wonder, was he truly at peace, or was this a safe retreat from the pressures of television? Once upon a time, Mike and Edd weren't just co-workers. They were close, so close that Edd was the godfather to Mike's child. But as Mike later revealed, the final year of working together took a toll. There was no explosive argument, no screaming match, just distance.
No need. Much bigger and better things to do.
Edd became harder to reach, more withdrawn. He wanted shorter hours, less pressure. The long days in the California workshop wore on him. Mike understood, he really did. But he also knew the show couldn't function without full commitment. In the end, they drifted apart not from betrayal, but from different visions of what life should be. Today, Wheeler Dealers is more than just a show. It's a survivor. After 2 decades of ups, downs, and dramatic transitions, it's still going strong. That alone speaks volumes. Many shows lose steam after just a few seasons. But Mike Brewer, through sheer determination and love for the craft, kept the wheels turning. After Edd's departure, many believed the show would crumble. Online chatter was brutal. Viewers questioned if anyone could replace the magic of the original duo. The garage felt emptier. The tone had shifted. For a while, it really seemed like this might be the end of an era. But Mike didn't flinch. Instead, he made bold moves. He brought in Anstead.
Where do I go as a TV host from that? Hi, I'm the guy that sunk Wheeler Dealers.
A passionate, charismatic expert with a deep understanding of cars and restoration. Ant had his own loyal following and injected fresh energy into the show. Their chemistry wasn't a copy of the old dynamic. It was something new, different, but genuine. Then came Mark Elvis Priestley, a former Formula One mechanic. He brought in high-level precision and a calm, methodical presence. Viewers gradually began to see that while the faces changed, the foundation of Wheeler Dealers stayed the same. The passion, the knowledge, the focus on quality restorations, all of it remained intact. Another significant change was location. The show moved back to the UK with a dedicated workshop built near Chester. It was more than just a set, it was a statement. A return to roots. A sign that Wheeler Dealers wasn't abandoning its origins. Instead, it was blending the best of its past with the possibilities of the future.
It's like that. The only thing that we could do really is to make the best shows we could possibly make.
Yeah.
Mike also made changes behind the camera. The editing style shifted, the pacing evolved, and the episodes became sharper and more focused. He listened to feedback. He adapted. Not to please everyone, but to refine the experience without losing the show's soul. Let us know in the comments. And if you want to keep riding along with stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss what's around the next corner.